Good morning and welcome to the Petitti Pro Garden Show. Thank you all so much for getting up early and being with us this morning. We have a lot going on at the Garden Center. We also have a guest with us today on the show. Again, we have Kevin from Habitat Restore, and we're going to be talking with him about all the things that they have going on, and so much going on with this all Hall of Fame Village. And so just go grab your coffee, get your pens ready to write things down, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what you need to be doing in your gardens right now, and what's going on at the Garden Center, what's coming up at the Garden Center and in the greenhouses, and then also what's going on with and in the Restore. So go get your coffee. If you have questions you would like to have answered on the radio, or of course right away, we all want our questions answered immediately, you can give me a call at 330-455-5997 at the Garden Center. You can email me at Cindy Petitti, that's CindyPetitti @gmail.com, or better yet, stop into the store at 5828 Columbus Road, right on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway in Nimishillen Township, and I will answer your question immediately in person. Most of the time, because that's where I am usually, but on Saturday mornings, as most of you know. So we have had several questions this week about what we need to be doing in the garden, and some of you are questioning what bulbs you need to dig up and what bulbs you need to bring in and what bulbs get planted. So we're going to talk a little bit about bulbs. So the bulbs that you planted in the spring, it might have been lily bulbs or gladiolas. Those ones are going to stay in the ground. You're not going to dig those up. You're going to treat those like a perennial forever. The bulbs that you're planting now in the fall, they're the ones that's going to be blooming for you in the spring. So tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, your alliums, your daffodils, all of those are going to be blooming in the spring. So spring bulbs are planted in the fall. And so you want to get those planted now until the ground freezes. You can, really plant until the ground is frozen. And so you can do that now. It's always a good idea to plant, when you're planting your bulbs, to use some bone meal, some bulb tone, something like that to feed it. And then also if you are planting tulips and you have an issue with chipmunks or voles, using some type of a safe barrier around your bulb so that the little critters doesn't eat them is always a good idea as well. And also remember in the springtime when everything is coming up and doing well, you might want to use a repellent because also not only do the little critters like the bulbs, the deer and the rabbits like the foliage. So remember that for next year if you're planting those. Daffodils and hyacinths, not so much. Do they get eaten by either one? The little critters eating the bulb or the deer and the rabbits eating the foliage. So that might be something that you want to take into account when you're wanting to plant spring blooming bulbs, is the ones that are going to be a little bit more deer and rabbit resistant as well as vole and chipmunk resistant to your bulb. Now, for some of the bulbs that you planted in the spring, some of them may be in the ground and some of them may be in containers, there's bulbs that need to be dug up because they are not hardy in our zone. So like your caladium bulbs, your calla lilies, your calocasias and your alocasias. Calocasia and alocasias, a lot of times people will call them elephant ears. They're very large-leafed, non-flowering plants, sort of like your caladium, but the leaf tissue is going to be much heavier, much more dense, much thicker. But all of those are not hardy bulbs in our zone. So those bulbs you need to dig up. So when you're digging them up, you want to get them out of the ground or get them out of the container, no soil, lay them on a picnic table or a table somewhere where they can dry good in the sun, preferably because they'll dry a little bit more quickly. But if we're having cloudy days or some rain, pulling them into the garage or something like that is a good idea. Once you have them good and dry, you're going to put them into a paper bag, not a plastic bag or any type of a plastic container because moisture can draw in there. You want a paper bag, and you're going to store them in a cool, dry area. So an area of your basement maybe that stays cool and dry, and that's going to be where you want to store those for the winter. If you want them to have some good size to them before you put them out next year, before or after the threat of frost, you can bring them out of the basement in March March. Plant them in a pot, get some good size to them, and then plant them in your containers or in the ground at the time of the threat of frost is over. So those are a couple tips for all of those non-hardy bulbs that you might have that you wasn't sure exactly what to do with. The next question that we had was about burning bush, and their burning bush are not turning red, and they wondered why. They thought all burning bush turned red in the fall, and that's why they bought them. But what they didn't know is a burning bush needs the sunlight to help it turn red. So if you have a burning bush planted in a shady area and it's been in the shade most of the season and it's still in the shade because the trees haven't dropped their leaves or it's on the north side of a building, you're never going to have as red, brilliant color that you might have been hoping for. So if you want a burning bush to have that red, rich color in the fall, you do want to make sure that you're planting it in an area where it gets some good sunlight and also keeping it fed. A lot of people, they have this theory, I'm not going to fertilize my shrubbery because I don't want them to grow too fast because I don't want to have to prune them. But remember that you're not feeding because you want the plant to grow quickly. You're feeding to keep it healthy. Just like yourself, you feed your body physically so it can stay healthy physically, and you feed your body, your mind spiritually so you can keep your mind spiritually healthy. So it's the same way with your plants. You want to feed them so that they stay healthy, not so that they grow and grow and grow. We have some things coming up at the greenhouse that we want all of you to know about. Our fall festival is next Saturday, the 22nd, and we have all kinds of things going on. I'm going to grab my paper here so I don't forget. Many of the vendors that will be at our winter indoor farmers market in the greenhouse that we've been having now for 5 years are going to be at our fall festival. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be sort of like a farmers market as well. Depending on the weather next Saturday will be if they're inside or outside, and also the vendor if they would like to be inside or outside. We do still have the spooky maze, a petting zoo. We have lots of different games to be playing, face painting, and we will be cooking over the fire from about 10 o'clock till about 1:30 or 2. We will have refreshments for everyone, and you can cook hot dogs and make roast marshmallows. We're going to have all of that stuff out front of the store in our fire pit so you can all be, get that whole fall experience. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also are having a food drive, and so if you bring a non-perishable food to the farmers market and drop it in our big container that we're going to have there to be donating to the Kuntz Memorial Food Bank, we will have you entered into a drawing to have get a beautiful mum planter, and we will be drawing for that mum planter at the end of the day. And you don't have to stay till the end of the day. We would love you to, because there's going to be all kinds of things to do. But you can leave your telephone number when you're entering, and we will give you a call, and you can come back by and pick up your fall planter if you're the winner. So remember, a canned food drive or a non-perishable food drive going on all day long. And you need to come over at around the noon hour, and so you can make your own lunch, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We also have some specials going on. All of our fruit trees are, I think, and all we have left are apple trees, I believe, are 25% off. All of our regular trees are 10% off. All of our perennials, not including mums, are all 20% off. And we also have the Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus, which is great for all of your fall planters. Wonderful decoration. It's just a fabulous looking, great, rich, dark burgundy mahogany colored leaf, which is deer and rabbit resistant. Wonderful plant, and those are all on sale for $5. So, and don't forget, the fall festival is the 22nd, and farmers markets start November 5th, Saturday, November 5th, running the first and the third Saturday of every month, November through May. So we want to invite all of you to come out the first and the third Saturday. If you're used to going to farmers markets right now, you can just stay right in that pattern 9 to noon on the first and the third Saturdays to get your eggs and your baked goods and your meats and all of your produce. It's just amazing how many things are still available locally right here in Stark County throughout the winter. So we want to invite all of you to come out. Well, we are going to talk to Kevin now about what's going on at Habitat. We spoke a couple minutes ago before we got ready to go on the air, and he was telling me about what's going on with Hall of Fame Village. And all of you know what's going on with Hall of Fame Village. You know, it's been front page of the paper this week. Things they're tearing houses down, and you know, this is big news for Stark County. This Hall of Fame Village is huge. It can be wonderful for our economics around here, but also we're doing some recycling with it. So tell us what Habitat and this relationship that you have with the Hall of Fame Village.
It's very exciting for us. On the restore side of things, we're going into the homes, the properties that were purchased, that are being demolished to make way for the Hall of Fame Village. We're doing what we call deconstruction. So everybody knows that Habitat does new construction. Many people know that we do rehab construction. We also do demolition. We do all sorts of things like minor home repair, critical home repair, but we also do deconstruction. And this is where we'll go into properties that are scheduled for demolition or scheduled to be remodeled. We'll take out all the usable materials, and we'll either recycle those, we'll scrap those, and all of those scrap proceeds then go straight back into the home building ministry of Habitat, or we'll take those usable quality building supplies and we'll sell them in our restore, both locations. So with this Hall of Fame Village stuff, we've been able to partner, and we're grateful to have partnered with the Pro Football Hall of Fame to go into these properties, take out all the usable materials, save items from landfills, give items that have life in them an opportunity to be used elsewhere, purchased at our restores. And so it's a really awesome partnership, but it also means really great things for those who come and shop at Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Right.
And it's building supplies. It's all sorts of really quality items.
What are you taking out of these houses? Cabinets?
Yeah, cabinets, metals, woods, all sorts of things. Paneling that's just beautiful. So, I mean, really anything we can find that's usable or recyclable or sellable for scrap, we'll take out, and we'll do all those things.
Before that big dozer comes in and just crushes the house, you guys are doing everything else before.
Yep.
Now, is this volunteers or people that's on staff?
It's a combination. So we've got a bunch of volunteers who have volunteered with Habitat to do this project. We've also got a group of regular volunteers at Habitat that we call the Habitat Crew, and these are men and women who volunteer regularly every single week. They're doing all sorts of things. They're volunteering at Restore. They're volunteering on construction sites. They're doing deconstructions, you name it. So they're part of the volunteers as well. And then it's overseen by our staff, our Restore people. So we take the Restore trucks out and we deconstruct these properties. We bring all those items back. We get volunteers sorting and, what's going to be recycled, what's going to be scrapped, what's going to be sold in Restore. And all these items are making a difference right here in this community for the home building side and renovation side of Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, that is just
we think it's pretty
so exciting.
We think it is too.
That's just
There's
wonderful.
A ton of great stuff there.
Right. Yeah. And so if somebody wants to volunteer to be part of this, because some people in the community were like, "Oh, we're tearing down homes. It's been here," and so they have this emotional attachment now to Hall of Fame Village, because they've watched all this happen. If they want to be part of this volunteering, maybe not just for this, but as time goes on, how can they do that?
Yeah, if people want to get involved in transforming their community, whether that's, through these deconstructions or new construction, you name it, we would love to have people, and there's something for everybody. So anyone who's interested in volunteering in any capacity can call us at 330-915-5888, or our website is habitateco.org, and folks can find out a lot of information about volunteering right on our website.
And you also have a Facebook page. They can send you a Facebook message as well. And what is your Facebook?
Our Habitat Facebook is facebook.com/Habitat for Humanity ECO.
Okay.
And the Restore Facebook page is facebook.com/Restore ECO.
Okay. And, I have found something out after following you on Facebook. If you don't like enough of your post, you stop seeing your post.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Facebook algorithm, right? So,
Yes.
but there are ways, and we posted this on our website as well, that you can make sure that you see those posts. There's a setting you can change on Facebook. So check our website as well for that information.
Right, and I just
set
make sure
you up.
that I like everyone I see.
There you
I
go.
make sure that I
Perfect.
like it so that I keep getting them.
I like
so
the
I
way
get to
you
see
think.
that. I'm like, if every time I do like it,
Yep.
then because I scrolling through and I'm like, I haven't seen one for a while, and so I started liking.
It does
and then
show
they
up more
start
and more.
more.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. It is. And you have a couple other projects going
We do.
on in the northeast side of Canton.
We do. You might have seen it in the paper or heard it on other stations as well, but we've launched this 4-year, $3.5 million investment in a northeast neighborhood here in Canton.
Right.
And this is a community that's currently filled with dilapidated properties, vacant properties, residents who are aging in place, struggling to make ends meet in a lot of cases. And so Habitat, over the next 4 years, with the support of generous financial donors and volunteers, we're going to make an investment in this community. This project is called the Renewal Project. And really, it's the combination of all the things that Habitat here in East Central Ohio has learned over the last 30 years. We're going to apply new construction, rehab construction, demolition, minor home repair, critical home repair. We're bringing it all together in this one neighborhood to help the residents there achieve the pride and stability and self-reliance and the strength that they are looking for their community. We hope that this just makes this whole community thrive, that it has a ripple effect out to the neighboring communities, and that actually it has a tremendously positive impact on the whole city. It's a huge investment. We've been doing a lot of fundraising for that $3.5 million. There's a little bit more to go. And the volunteers are coming in, and it's open to individuals, to organizations, to churches, to businesses. We want to, our mission statement at Habitat is to bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And we're bringing people together to make an impact in this Northeast community, in addition to all the projects that we have going on through the rest of our coverage area in East Central Ohio.
Right. And another thing, a hand up, not a hand out.
Perfect. Yes.
Exactly. Right. So that's going to be great. And I'm sure that, the people in these communities that are like aging, this is just going to be such a blessing to them, because there's that, everyone, this neighborhood is being run down and we don't want to move there. And so then their property values go down, and something like this going on is just so good, not for so much for their value of their home, but for the value of their psyche.
It's absolutely
great,
true. I mean, we talk at Habitat all the time about how crucial decent, affordable housing is to the rest of life. And that has to do with self-worth. It has to do with attitude about the rest of life. It has to do with the strength that you feel moving forward in your future. It has to do with self-reliance, all of that.
Right.
And so all the families that we'll partner with in this community as well, they also do the sweat equity piece. They also do the zero interest loan piece. So when you think about a minor home repair or a critical home repair, these are perhaps families that aren't able to do a traditional repair on their home. And so with Habitat's partnership, we can offer them, the work, the materials, all of that, and they pay the same zero interest loan back to Habitat that a homeowner would if they purchase their own decent, affordable home. And so it's the same sort of hand up, not a hand out.
Right.
And along with that sort of model of investment comes a tremendous pride, because everybody's got skin in the game. Everybody believes at the end of the project that I did this. This is my work, and my heart is in this project. And that is, I think, from working at Habitat, the most beautiful part of this whole thing.
Exactly.
Nobody feels like they were handed something that they no longer care for because it was easy. It's hard work. And so when they make that investment at the end, on the other side of that zero interest loan or mortgage, whatever we're talking about, there's a pride and there's a sense of investment, and that changes the way people treat their home.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's beautiful.
Right.
It's absolutely
it definitely
beautiful.
is. And there's some great things going on at Habitat Restores.
There is. I mean, there's always. So, we have a saying at Restore: if you miss a day, you miss a deal. But really, if you miss a day, you kind of miss everything, because the inventory changes so often. It's really awesome. We are surrounded by a community of really generous people who donate their furniture, appliances, home goods, building supplies, all of that. Restore is open to the public all the time, and so folks are in and out, and so is our inventory. Today we have a 50% off sale of our lighting and our home supplies. So things like home decor, small appliances, that kind of thing. So 50% off today from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're open. So that's one of the big things that's going on at Restore.
Yeah.
You know, we've always got stuff. We've got brand new paint that's been recycled from paint that's been donated to Restore. You know, people can throw their paint away and not do the right thing, or they can bring it to Restore, and we have it recycled and reformulated and brought back to us as really quality paint for $14 a can. And this is brand new paint that's completely made from recycled old paint.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is amazing, and it's good for the environment.
And you have this at both locations?
Both locations, and painting supplies.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff is just always happening at Restore.
Exactly.
But again, you know, this is a great season to check things out. Summer's over. People are bringing in their good summer furniture because they've gotten something, you know, on special, on sale right now at the end of summer. So
they don't have
there's
room to
exactly.
store
You can't store everything.
You know, right.
Yeah. So definitely come check out both locations.
And where are both locations at?
Yeah, we've got one on Raft Road Southwest here in Canton, and we've got one on Cleveland Avenue at 4525 Cleveland Avenue Northwest.
And the one on Raft is between Tusk and Southway.
It's between Tusk and like 30. You know, you can get right off on 30. It's practically right there. In fact, if you come from the north, you're going to see our billboard that says, "Hey, get off here and go 1 mile." Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
So we'll try and make it easy for you to get over to Restore on Raft Road. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we really appreciate you being with us today. And go over hours one more time.
Sure. So
website and phone number.
You got it. Tuesday through Friday, we're open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, today, we're open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our website for Restore is restoreeco.org. The Habitat website is habitateco.org. On the Restore side, we've got a donation hotline for free donation pickup, and that number is 330-915-5920.
And what about the number for volunteering?
Volunteering, call Habitat at 330-915-5888.
Wonderful. Well, we hope all of you decide, really pray about this, because this is something that it's not just going out and doing something at the park. I mean, this is something that really changes people's lives. So pray about, volunteering in this way. And remember that we have a lot going on at our place, and we would love you to make a donation there as well. Next Saturday at the Fall Festival, bring in your non-perishable food items and be entered into a drawing to win a mum planter. The Fall Festival is next Saturday, the 22nd. Starts at 9 o'clock, runs all day long till 4. And we will be having the spooky maze, the planting of little wonderful plants. We have a petting zoo, games, face painting, cooking over the fire. Just so much fun. And many, many of the farmers market vendors will be there as well. So that's next Saturday starting at 9 a.m. If you have been to one of our 14 fall festivals, you know that they're always something different, but it's always a lot of fun. We have so much fun, and we will all be dressed up. So if you have been following us throughout the years on all of the costumes that we wear at the Fall Festival, this year is totally different. But remember, we are a farm as well as a greenhouse. That might give you some hints on what we're going to be dressing up like this year, and we're all going to be dressed up, and it's going to be so much fun. Remember, if you have questions that you would like me to answer on the air for you, we will do that, but we will also do it immediately if you call the store at 330-455-5997. You can email me your questions at cindypetitti@gmail.com, or better yet, stop in at the store, meet one of us, and we will answer your question at 5828 Columbus Road, right there on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway in Nimishillen Township. So much going on. The fall is just zooming with things. There's just something going on all the time. I know Nickajack Farms has things going on. Arrowhead Orchard, they have things going on. It's just something going on. Fall is such an amazing time. And so we want you to all get out there and have fun. But remember, stop by Habitat today. They have some wonderful sales going on. 50% off of electrical and all home goods. So that's going to be great. Right there on Cleveland Avenue and on Raft Road. So we want to make sure that you all have a wonderful weekend. Remember, we will be back here for 2 more shows before the end of our season. Next week, we have Kathy from Nanny Goat Farms, and we have some exciting news to release at our last show about the Hartzler Dairy. So stay with us for that show as well. And you all have a blessed week. Thanks so much for getting up early and being with us.